There is a ghost here. We call him Bentner because it was Bentner's elevator, and everyone says he was a really nice guy, and it's a nice ghost. So we think it's him.
Well, I don't know because he knocked over that maple syrup, and he's probably whoever did that is probably pissed because you're calling that person probably the person that murdered.
So it's the wrong one.
Yes, Bentner probably killed this person.
You're right. Conspiracy theories. You're right.
You need to solve the mystery.
You're right.
The body's
right
buried.
away. Let's get into it. Someone was supposedly died right there in that. What is that thing called?
It was like an auger pit.
And someone fell in it.
So the wagons would pull up and dump their stuff in there.
Yep.
And it'd get fed into the mill.
Like 1900 early, like.
So
mill
they
days.
probably had like a horse and buggy or something, and then pulled it up.
Someone's like, "Yeah, a guy died in there." I'm like, "Well, now I'm growing flowers there."
Yeah.
That's probably why they grow well.
Right.
That's probably the dude that's knocking over shit in your stores.
He's pissed.
Yeah.
Dude named Tony.
I mean it. We'll do something to let your spirit free, but
Tell me freely what's in your heart.
My mom used to give me sage stuff all the time because she thought there was a demon attached to me. She sent a CD home with me that was like supposed to like, and then I found it. I'm like, "Mom, what is this?" She's like, "It's gonna get rid of the demon."
The demon.
The demon's like, "Ooh, my favorite flavor."
I love sage.
Yeah.
I love spinach.
Do you have ranch?
All right, let's get at it. This is Beers and Banter with my bitches. Just kidding. Just kidding. That was unplanned. You're not my bitches.
You were waiting to say that all day.
No, I wasn't.
She was definitely planning.
She recited. I thought I heard that line in the bathroom.
I was like,
she was reciting that.
I was in the bathtub. I'm like, Beers and Banter with my bitches. Yeah, I'm going to say that.
Yeah. Doing like mirror.
Yeah.
Can you pull the mic, just direct it more towards your face?
You want me to cover my face? Cover it?
That's better, actually. That's
Okay.
good. Yeah. And this one, I'm not going to bleep. We're just going to put it out there as explicit and 18 and older.
Oh.
How do you feel about that?
Shit.
So you are free to do as you please.
So
watch us be the cleanest thing ever talked.
Disclaimer: Jay is our guest, and
our attorney.
And he said, "Disclaimer: do your own research." And I found out. Okay, so timeout. Mandy or Cammie, Andy's mom, Gail, came to the mill today. And she was laughing about the podcast.
Did she like that her picture was in there?
She didn't say that, but she said, I don't remember what I was going to say.
Good comment. Do you need a drink for it?
Goddamn you, CIA. Already scrambling her brains.
Yeah, see?
We got nothing. The whole podcast is just us staring at each other.
I don't remember where I was going with that, but there was.
Did she have a comment on it?
She laughed. Oh, her sister, his sister, Andy's a boy. Andy's sister was with Andy's mom. Andy's mom and sister came to the mill today, and the sister said, "I really enjoyed how there was a disclaimer, like we are not doctors or whatever, on the podcast." I'm like,
Yes.
Cammie, great job.
Yeah, thanks.
And
God, that was
also,
brutal.
she corrected something that we said that
She didn't spit.
it was the
Other lady spit.
that was like Andy.
Okay.
And
then-
Gail said she was going to beat her up because of it,
Yeah,
which
she
is
didn't like
hilarious.
that.
But
She
let's
didn't
move
like
on.
it.
Let's talk to
Yeah,
Tony.
we should probably get Andy on, see his side of the story here, and go from there.
Yeah. All right. So where should we start? I have a couple in my head, but I want to know where you guys want to start. You said a good start is, when did you realize conspiracy theories could be legit and no longer crazy people? No offense, Jay, aren't crazy. They're legit. Like when the crazy guy that is saying stuff, you're like, that guy's crazy. And you're like, you know what? That guy might be right.
Yeah.
When did you realize that?
Well, for me, it was 2008.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I was watching a documentary
What were you wearing?
called Loose Change. It's directed by Alex Jones. And it tore apart the 9/11 narrative.
Mhm.
And it's like a 2-hour documentary. And after I was done watching it, I felt like I was going to throw up.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Sick, right?
Yeah, made me
You
sick.
saw that?
No, I haven't seen that one, but I've like.
But the feeling I had was like, because I didn't really understand government or nothing like that. I was pretty blind to whatever the hell was going on. I never cared,
Right.
about, just about anything really. But when I saw that, I was physically like ill. I was like, I just pushed my chair back. And I'm like, I can't believe, that our government would like do something like this. And I was like, this is bullshit. This is, it can't be like that. But then I started doing more research on it, and my feed just got filled up of all kinds of stuff, and then doing like independent searches on stuff. And I was like, holy crap, a lot of this shit is true. Like, how convenient, like we'll get to 9/11 in a second here, but like how just one,
might as well
one
right
part of it that just like,
yeah,
we're good. All right.
All right. I'm not going to say
So getting back
things
to
about
it,
you when we drive
2000.
away.
Hey, shit, are we going to get into this or not? Because we could probably just sit here and talk shit all day, right?
All day.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so go on. Back to-
2008, we're back there, and they found the passport of one of the hijackers in the carnage of all the building that it came down, and where the plane hit one of the towers. Apparently, the passport of the only passport they found, by the way.
Convenient.
Yeah, on the street.
Oh,
Okay. Or of all the rubble and stuff like that was conveniently a passport of one of the guys that apparently hijacked the plane. So I saw that and I was like, yeah, that thing blew up, and there was like all kinds of heat, and it was able to take down these buildings and stuff like that from the gas and stuff like that. How would a passport just make it? And then when they got into all the other stuff, like with the Pentagon and, the day before, how the government doesn't know where $2.3 trillion went.
Yeah.
Like they had, you can actually see
So this is all
Googleable.
okay. Now I'm going to say Googleable, but can we trust Google? Do you know what I mean? Like you can say Google it, you can research it, but like, do you think Google's controlled too, censored? Yeah.
I would.
You know what I mean?
I would think they have their finger on everything. I think everything that's out there right now, I think that it's stuff that they want us to know.
Right. I agree.
I mean, and there's stuff that is going on right now where they try to suppress it, but with the internet and stuff like that, it's kind of hard to suppress some of this stuff. And guys that coming out like, I call like real American patriots, like Alex Jones or something like that, that, talked about how there was fluoride in the water, 20 years ago, and how they were putting some kind of like chemical in the water to make the frogs gay or something like that. And that was in our water supply too, or something like that.
Is that true?
Yeah, it turned out to be true.
And so do you think that's why we have more gay people?
It sure would
No?
correlate.
Oh, do you think it's just we're more aware of it? Or people are more comfortable?
Maybe there's a combination of things. But
since we're on the water topic, what about the amount of birth control that's in our water?
Oh my God, there's a lot. Wait,
Have
you didn't
you
didn't hear my water topic that we talked about before you got
We're
here.
going to go on 87 different pathways
Listen
here.
to my water.
I know how this is going to go already.
My water topic. Do you know?
Are
in
you going to talk about your copper?
No,
Oh.
1954 is when they started recommending 8 glasses of water a day, and also in 1950. Did I say 18?
No,
1954.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also in 1954 is when they started putting fluoride in water. Same time. I would like to know like what month it was. It's probably very same, but isn't that ironic?
I always look back at our primal state, like I always reference that about how much we should eat. And like, you think 150 years ago we're drinking 8 glasses of water a day? No, you drank what you got.
Even in the 90s, I wasn't drinking water. I would have a
well, that's
Pepsi.
because our food is so full of this shit.
Right.
Like water, But yeah, you don't need to drink that much. I thought you were going to preach about your copper water bottle.
No, you poo-pooed that.
You know how many,
I spent like
many people?
like $50 on that little bottle.
$50?
It's real copper.
I believe you, but do you know how many crunchy wives, husbands I've asked them, like, has your wife bought you a copper water bottle yet? Because I got one.
I completely am misjudged by people a lot because I'm pretty crunchy. I am, but I vote very conservatively, right? So like I want a Subaru, but I don't want to be in the Subaru category. Right. We can say that. I if I had a Subaru, I'd be like, I vote conservative and I'm straight.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
And I don't care. I love gay people. I have no issue. I really don't. And I don't need to like explain that. Like, I don't care. But if you would look at me, some days you'd be like, she dresses kind of like a lesbian. Because I do. I did on our gardening day. Did I not? I looked a little granola. Most of the time I do. But I am a hippie when it comes to the grids. Let's not put these grids on our land or the dogs or this stuff. So people would probably misjudge me and be like, she's completely liberal. And I'd be like, surprise. I'm not. I'm conservative, which has nothing to do with conspiracy theories. But you were ripping on the copper bottle, calling me granola.
Not cop. I wasn't ripping on it.
Oh.
Like it totally tastes different.
Maybe
like,
we
it
just
feels
edit
like
that whole part out.
I'm getting healthier when I drink it. Like,
Do you guys remember taking fluoride in little cups in school?
Mm-hmm.
My mom signed a note. We didn't have to do it because she was onto the fluoride back then.
So,
and you, yeah,
I took it.
I didn't.
I probably drank it.
My parents were
I was
anti-fluoride.
stupid.
My dad was anti like store milk because of the hormones in it.
okay.
He was like beyond the time. Diet soda era. He's like, nope, that NutraSweet's not good. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Our beef always came from local farmers because he said like the additives and shit in it. So my dad was always a little crazy, but
He was ahead of the time.
there you
Yeah.
go. Those
Yeah.
crazy people were like, Dad, you're nuts.
But like even when I was in school in 4th grade, I remember it was in Ogerbrenner Elementary, and they gave us those cups, and I remember like pretending I would wrap my napkin around the cup, and I would pretend I took it, and I'd be swishing them while in my mouth like this, and then I'd put the napkin in my cup like I took it, and I never
really?
took it.
That's so well. Good thing
Why?
you didn't.
I don't know. I just didn't want it. I just thought
It smelled
"Ah."
terrible.
You're like, mm-mm.
I don't know.
Did you take it?
Probably. I'm an idiot.
You're obedient.
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. Right
But
away.
you know,
Your mom-
and now all the studies come out, like they got all that fluoride in the water now and in the toothpaste, and now it it calcifies your pineal gland and kind of like makes you okay with everything.
I wonder.
Hmm.
I need to know more about that. You need to touch
Yeah.
on that more because you have my attention. So do you know more about that?
I think I pretty exhausted all of my knowledge on that.
Jay, do you know
Just
anything
there.
about fluoride? No.
I was
Something
saying.
we can research for
I
next
was
time.
saying off the record, and now I'm bringing it to the record.
Oh.
My dentist said when the hygienist said, "Do you want us to fluoride?" It was Knox or Nash, and I'm like, "No." And she said, "Can I ask you why?" I said, "I don't know enough about it, but there's enough bad I hear about it that I'm just gonna not do it." And she's like, "Fair enough." And then the dentist slowly turned and looked at me. She goes, "I don't give my kids fluoride." She says, "I've seen it underneath a microscope, and you put this natural thing that she doesn't sell it, so it wasn't like she was trying to sell me something, but she like told me what to get. She's like, you put that natural substance under a microscope, and it does the same exact thing that calcium does, and then you put fluoride under it, and she said it looks like electricity, static, and all like she's like that's not normal. Your body is not supposed to have that." She
Makes
said
sense.
the bad is way more than the good that fluoride does. She's like, we don't have it in our toothpaste. We have well water at home. Yeah, go ahead, Cammie. You have a question back there?
Thanks.
Yeah, Cam.
This was your dentist that was telling you that?
Yeah.
But she still
dentist.
was like recommending fluoride to your child?
The hygienist asked.
Oh, okay.
She works for a bigger dental office that they have to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
She's not her own private practice. So like,
Gotcha.
let's say Theta Care. I'm protecting her dentist name.
Okay. Yeah.
So like they probably have to ask these things.
Gotcha.
But she's kind of risque with like,
Kind of. Should give Jay a run for
she would give Jay a run. Like, because we're Facebook friends with her and she's on the world is flat level.
Mm.
And which
Are you there yet, Jay? World is flat.
Very big question.
That's one that I
don't know. What do you think, Tony, about the world being flat? That's a hard sell for me.
I can give you a bunch of selling points, but this is not my show.
Well,
Jay.
if you go back and you think like
Have you looked into that at all?
yeah, so a lot of these maps that are like
Yeah.
pre 1500 or whatever it is,
Even pre like
It's biblical.
1900. There's some.
Excuse me, I burped.
Well, you don't not used to that beer.
I'm really not a beer girl.
I saw
burped.
this
Excuse me.
lady at this was a long time ago, but it was like an old recording that just like resurfaced recently. And she placed portions of the map where they're totally unproportioned. So like the world map as we view it, it's not even close to proportioned. An example is Greenland is like a third of the size of South America. But if you look at it on the map, they look almost the same.
I feel like there's some
graphical
explanation. Some smart person would explain.
Well, the thing that kind of intrigued me about the whole flat Earth thing when they talk about Antarctica. Okay? Yes. So these maps that they have of like 1500s, even before before we were even set sail across or whatever, there's these maps of Antarctica and the whole continent. And it talks about how it was like green and stuff like that. And it had like, coastal lines and stuff. And, so that intrigued me and kind of made me, but it's kind of a hard sell for me.
It is a hard sell for me too, but I'm to the point that I believe Senator Kennedy when he said, like all these conspiracy theories that are coming true, do we still call them conspiracy theories? You know what I mean? Like, is that going to be another thing in 20 years that we're like, duh?
Yeah, I
don't know enough about it though.
Do you think we're going to know less or more in 20 years?
I'm going to say less. I'm going to put my vote in first because of AI.
Tony?
I agree with you. I think it's going to knock
stuff like this is going to get suppressed.
It's going to knock us back.
Our booze guy today, our booze guy said today, how many people did our Facebook Meta layoff?
8,000.
8,000, and which doesn't seem like a lot, but that's in his whatever area.
HR department of Facebook.
Because they were studying.
They just use AI for everything.
It was studying keystrokes of their employees, and then studied what they all do, and replaced each of them with a robot.
Really?
Well, not a robot, like AI.
AI,
yeah.
Same thing. It's like a robot. Me.
Not real robots sitting there pressing
but it's the
keys.
same.
Yeah.
It's the same.
No, I get what you're saying, and
that's scary.
I thought about like how long I'm going to be able to last in my career before AI
insurance.
Yeah, think about it. Right now, you could.
How long do you want to go?
I'm just saying. How long is the industry going to be available?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
In, 10 years. I mean, look how far AI has come in 1 year.
Yeah, it's insane.
So, but I don't know. I came here to talk about some conspiracy theories, and I got like 4 or 5 in the
5 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's go.
So we were talking about 9/11.
Yeah.
So we were talking about like my first conspiracy theory there. What was conspiracy theory? Now I thought about it, I got to go back to high school.
I was gonna
Let me finish.
Okay.
He's here. He's the guest. He's been waiting.
I love you guys, but you guys banter.
How many first ones do you get?
Seriously, banter back and forth. And we're like, I'm talking about a fucking copper bottle right now. Yes. I love it. It's just, I got so much to say. Okay.
I got nothing but time.
All right.
Tony needs his own show, obviously.
Oh gosh. Yeah. So, Jesus. I mean, it's cute though. I mean, it's cute banter. You guys go back and forth or whatever. So, but back in high school, I remember doing a presentation about the JFK assassination in my sophomore year, and talked about like how the lone gunman shot 3 shots. This is high school with a magic bullet, and the teacher at the time, his name was Keith Vanden Heuvel. He says, "Well, I didn't know half the stuff you just said." I'm like, this is stuff I got out of an encyclopedia, like pretty much copied word for word. You know?
My own words, though.
Yeah, exactly. But so I think that's right. That was the first one. And JFK is like the ultimate conspiracy theory, right? I mean, there's so many great.
First time we caught him in a lie.
Yeah, true.
Well, which was disappointing when they claimed they released the JFK files in this current administration, because it was everything we already knew all of it.
Yeah, well, but they still haven't released most of it.
Right, but it was like everything we already knew.
They keep teasing you and say, "Oh, like just like with the docile, we got the docile, we got
the nothing new
Epstein file, we got this. Yep. We're coming out with these. They show these files and they come out with nothing.
Nothing.
And then the same thing with the these UFO things that they call it. What do they call them now?
Yeah, EAP
or whatever it is. Like, oh, we got it right here on this little thing. We're going to be releasing this, and then something we saw video already. Number one with the Tic Tac incident. And just
What Tic Tac incident?
So in 2004, I
Do
think
you know
it
what
was.
he's talking about?
No.
Lieutenant Colonel Favor was doing some maneuvers. They were doing some training out in San Diego, and he came upon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he's flying.
The guy you told me about?
They're doing some
Mm-mm,
maneuvers
different.
out, and it's like 60 miles southwest of San Diego, over the ocean. It was a calm, clear day, and he's flying his jet fighter or whatever it is. And when it's a nice calm day, you can just see the water, and it's like, there's no, you can tell if there's like white caps and stuff like that, but it was this nice calm. And then all of a sudden there was like this white object, and it was in the water or right above the water, and it was bouncing around like a ping pong ball. Okay. Like this fast, and it's making all kinds of splashes and stuff like that. And it was really tearing it up. So they were coming in to investigate it, right? As they were coming in to investigate it, the thing like started paralleling this way. You know what I mean? And then they described it as like a Tic Tac, like a white Tic Tac, but about as big as a bus. Okay. And this thing was just going like I said, it was just like 0 point energy type stuff going up and down all the way around. And then they were able to track it with this, whatever the tracking device they have. And they got it, and they were able to track it. And then they got video, like not video, but like the FLIR video, whatever it is. And then they said as they were coming around and like circling, it was circling them, and it wouldn't let them get any closer. And then all of a sudden, within like a second or whatever, it just went gone, straight up. And then there was
another pilot that saw the same thing with him, right?
So he was just him, but he had his co-pilot or whatever, the guy that sits behind him. And I think there was another jet
I thought there was another
too.
jet.
And they were actually running, apparently these things were out there for the last 30 days. So where this leads is, and I don't know if you guys ever dug into this, but we started researching the ocean, and whatever. And all of a sudden we stopped researching the ocean, and we were trying to get off this planet. So I don't know what that is, or if that's our technology or whatever, but it goes from, and one more thing. They got like something that was like a bigger than one of the biggest submarines that we have, just this huge thing that can go about 200 miles an hour in the water, 200 knots or whatever it was. They got it filmed, and they would come out of the water, go straight up and slam back in the water and just do amazing things in the water that obviously nothing of this world can do right now. So there's all kinds of crazy alien ship stuff like that, but I don't know what's true or what's not true. But this guy went on like Joe Rogan. He's been on all kinds of podcasts and stuff like that.
I've seen him.
It's Lieutenant Colonel Favor, David Favor. And
who's the guy that you were talking about that
was
Antarctica?
That was after World War II.
Yeah.
That's
a whole other world.
Byrd.
Admiral
Lieutenant
Byrd. Oh yeah. Yeah, Admiral.
Yep. Admiral Byrd.
So a decorated guy that
they went down there on a
mission.
On a mission, and they got into a
classified
fight.
it as a training mission.
Yep. And
initially
they lost a lot of men and a lot of machines down there.
And they came back. They were supposed to be there for like 6 to 8 months, and they came back in like 30 days.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But his diary got intercepted. And in his diary, or I don't know if it was his kid had it or whatever, he talks about flying. And then he talks about 2 spaceships coming up on his airplane. And then he lost control of his airplane, and it guided him to this like green area in the middle of Antarctica. And then apparently he made contact with some beings down there or something like that.
And there was a bunch of animals, like large bodied animals.
Like mammoths.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like where we were at, like 5,000 or 10,000 BC.
And I remember on there, he said that there was swastikas. Wasn't part of the ruse was that they were...
Oh, shoot. Sorry if I take this phone call.
Yes.
Okay. Hello?
Tony, the CIA is calling me, and they're telling me some very bad, very disturbing things. I need to talk to you.
President Trump, what do you mean?
The CIA they tell me this. They tell me you're talking about aliens, and I have to say you should stop it immediately.
First of all, President Trump, I have no idea how you got this number, but sir, we're just doing a podcast. We're proud Americans.
Tony, don't bullshit me. Don't bullshit me. I'm the president of the United States. I know everything.
Oh,
Don't bullshit me, Tony.
All right. Hey, well, I'll tell you what, Mr. President, we are talking about aliens, and I sure hope that you guys are disclosing everything to us so that we know everything as the American public.
Not a fucking chance, Tony. You know me. You know how this works.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, President Trump, and thanks for calling while I'm doing a podcast, I guess. Thank you.
No problem. Let me know if there's any more things I can clear up for you.
All right. Thank you, Donald.
Probably won't.
Thank you.
I probably won't, but
All right. Hey, we love you.
sure you do.
All right. Bye-bye.
Who was that?
Sorry, well, it's Donald Trump.
Obviously.
That was genius. What is happening?
I don't know.
Who was that? That was a good.
That was my son, Joey.
No way. Really? He's great.
I told him I was doing this tonight. He's like, Dad, I could call in. He goes, I could do Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or he said there was one more person he could do. And I was like, well, let's do Trump, I guess. I don't
That
know.
is so funny. Trump is fitting.
Yeah. Anyways, but we were talking about Admiral Byrd going down to, this another thing with Antarctica. Why can't we go anywhere now? It's all the nations are part of this Antarctic agreement where we cannot even fly over this.
Mhm.
So what does that tell you too?
Something.
It just,
And wasn't part of the ruse was that they were going there just to make sure that
it was an expedition.
yeah, but didn't they go under they purposely leaked part of it saying that they were looking for high-ranking officials from the German.
I mean, that's where they said that they had a battle too. It was, but then in the conspiracy theory is they got in a battle with some kind of entity that, is not from this planet.
Mm-hmm.
So, but, I don't know what is true or not, I mean, that the diary that they got from, that was supposed to be this Admiral Byrd's diary, was that plagiarized? Was that somebody else did that? We don't know. So it's they say it's his, but they also say that fluoride doesn't, make you dumber.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This is why I am the way that I am.
You spit yours out and I didn't.
Well, actually, it's supposed to make you compliant, so you don't have any free thinking, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, to be compliant, and that's what Donald Trump wants us to be, right? Right, Donnie? No, I don't know. But Keith, what was your first big conspiracy theory thing that kind of drew you into this whole world of holy crap, maybe, none of this is true. I don't know.
You're going to think that's funny, but the food pyramid.
Oh, that's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So totally upside down.
1953. They came out with that after Dwight had his heart attack, right? Dwight Eisenhower.
How do you know that?
I don't know. It's just useless now. Such useless
He's
knowledge.
Snapple Cap.
Yeah. It really is. It's useless knowledge because, I don't get rich off of this. That's for sure. But maybe it's good, that keeps me like we're talking about the 11 scientists and all. And
Yeah, I would love to hit on that.
Well, I think that's a psyop. I really do.
You do?
Yeah.
It's so public.
Yeah. And it's so, number one,
wrong.
it's so public. Number two, if you just go on YouTube tonight or whatever.
You think it's made up? You think they're hiding?
No, I think they want us to know this.
Yeah, you're right.
I think
so. Why?
Because there's going to be a big event happening. I don't want to scare anybody, but
no, I want it. I want it to be scared.
I think there's. So there.
Say it.
It's hard to say.
Just say it. You didn't take fluoride.
Oh gosh. I think there's going to be some kind of cataclysmic event to draw us into a one world type order, unless we're already there. I don't know. So what that could entail, and I don't like, they call it Project like Blue Book or Blue Beam or whatever the hell it is. I think it's something like that, where they're going to stage a false flag attack. When I say they, like our government or whatever it is, stage a false flag attack. And they're going to use this technology that they gained, this UFO technology, and then they're going to like scare us all into like, yes, please, cause reaction or cause effect solution. They cause the incident, we react to it, and then they have a resolution already ready to go. So I think that might be the next step.
I want you to tell me what you think that looks like.
I think it looks like big alien ships over every metropolitan city, and they already have direct energy weapons, and they'll start burning places up like they did in Hawaii,
Wait, what did they do in Hawaii?
Well, do you remember what the big fires in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever like see any footage of that or anything like that? No, right? Like nobody was there with a cell phone at all. At all.
That was like California too, where they with the.
And then all of a sudden, Nicole, here's the weird part. Like you got this whole area that just burnt right to the ground, big brick buildings right to the ground, and you got a house that's right next to it,
owned by Oprah Winfrey. Safe.
That's
that has a blue roof on it and isn't burnt at all. And then there was some leak footage that I saw. And all you hear was like, you ever hear like a transformer for like electrical pole just going, that's what I heard. And I saw this like a white flash going over the sky. So, they're already, to me, this is nothing, obviously disclaimer, this is just shit I'm putting together in my head, but it's like stuff is starting to like come together and add up. So why are they even letting us know more and more? Oh, we're going to give you a little bit more about the UFO stuff. And, and anything that, drown out anything else that's going on in our world, but it's just weird because I think there's going to be something cataclysmic to like draw us together like 9/11 did.
Yeah.
So
I can see that. You've been saying that.
I don't know what it's going to cost though. You know what I mean? Like what, like how many lives or whatever it is going to cost.
I don't think they care.
No.
Clearly not.
Yeah.
No. So
what was the next one on your list? I want you to get your list out.
So let's talk some more about 9/11.
Oh shit.
Yeah. What do you want to know?
What do you know about like the duration of like and Jay probably knows, but wasn't it like 8 hours or something that building, was it 5 or 7 that fell after? Was it, how long did it happen?
There was
in between the
3
two?
towers that actually collapsed.
Yep.
Okay. Tower 1 and Tower 2, they got hit by planes.
Yep. And
then,
allegedly crashed because of the plane.
Yeah. And then came into themselves and perfect footprint all the way to the bottom, right? But
then like how many hours later did the building across the street?
It was like at like 5, it was like 5 o'clock or something like that. And then
from allegedly
from 8 o'clock in the morning to like 5 o'clock at night, building 7 apparently was burning and
weren't there certain people that called in that day too or didn't show up for work that day?
Yeah. So, but we'll get to the building 7. I'll get to that in a second too. That's a good one. So actually the owners of the towers called in sick for the first time in his life. He went to a dentist appointment, or something like that. I don't know, but he's never missed work ever. But, so building 7 is the one that also collapsed on itself and was never hit by an airplane and never, had any damage to it or structural damage, but it literally collapsed into itself.
And what was in that building?
There was I think there was a headquarters for, I want to say some of our intelligence, like NSA or something like that. And also there was a lot of gold, what I was told, underneath the building in vaults. Like more gold there than there was in Fort Knox. I don't know if there's gold in Fort Knox, but they said there was more gold underneath the Twin Towers than there was in Fort Knox. So, so building 7, when it collapsed on itself, that's another thing that kind of like raised an eyebrow. Like, how does this building go? And it looks like it was completely detonated and right on top of each other, which if you have fire damage over here from a collapsing building that was 7 blocks away, it's not going to take the whole building straight down like that. Right. You know what I mean? It won't do it. It just won't. You cannot do that. They'll never be able to recreate that. And then they got Larry Fink, who was the guy that made all the money from the Twin Towers, because he put a
Oh,
whole
he-
bunch of insurance
bet
on
against it, right?
He put a whole bunch of insurance on it because the buildings were shit. He kept saying the buildings were shit. They were like old and asbestos and whatever, and they were costing him a lot of money. So he must have made a deal with the Israelis or whatever it is, and decided to, blow that building up, and get in with this whole coup of things that they can turn around. And that's when the Patriot Act started and all that stuff. But anyways, going back to Building 7, that has never happened, ever. That building was never hit, structurally damaged, nothing like that. They said that there was rubble that came down from Building 1 and 2, and there was fires that came with that building when it collapsed like that. Yeah, but it was nothing to make the whole building imprint and implode into itself straight down. Because even if there was think about this, Nicole, if there was fire on this side of the building, wouldn't half the building go up in a fire? Have you ever seen the whole building implode into itself because there's a fire over here? So, and that Larry Fink, who was the owner of the Twin Towers, he actually was like, yeah, let's just pull it. And that's a term that they use for demoing buildings. And then part of this documentary that really got me kind of ill was there was weeks before 9/11 happened, there was this group that came in and they were supposed to be doing some rewiring. And you can see these vans coming in and out. They come in at 8 o'clock at night and leave at 4 a.m. And they were supposed to be there for some kind of janitorial or rewiring service. And it was these 5 or 8 vans or whatever just come in and go.
Putting bombs in.
They were probably wiring it up to blow it. So yeah, when you really get into 9/11 and you dive deep into it, and obviously not everything is true, but a lot of things don't add up. Like I said, you can poke holes in it, and it's holy moly, this isn't good. You know what I mean? This isn't good. This makes you feel terrible.
The whole mind fuck of it, number one, is just horrible. What type of
How many people do you
they're not
think
even real
actually?
people?
How many people do you think were actually in on it to make that happen?
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, think about this. They hit the area of the Pentagon. Okay, look at this. This is another thing. The most secure
place.
Yeah, the most secure place, probably one in the United States, right? There is no footage of the plane at all hitting the building. Not one. How many cameras do you think are outside of the Pentagon at any given time, at any side of the Pentagon? And they happen to hit the department where they were doing the research or the searching or whatever of the 2.3 trillion or whatever $1 trillion that are missing. Apparently they were freaking out. The government was freaking out that we're going to find out about this money in uproar or something. And so that was part of the deal. I think that money went somewhere to pull this whole thing off because there was more money to be made, number one, and more control, number two. So it might have costed our government $2.3 trillion to pull this off. But, I feel like they did that to, more control and more money, because then we got in a whole bunch of wars and stuff like that because of that. And we made a lot more money from that than what we put into it. Mm-hmm. I know that sounds really bad to say, but
think of because that was right around the time you started a few years before that, right? 2 years?
98.
Not 3 years.
Yep.
Okay.
I remember I was serving trays in the jail when I'm looking in through the pile. I'm like, what the fuck just happened there? So sorry, you're in jail. I'm going to go home.
I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah. I think the world's on fire right now. So I'll see you guys later.
But I don't know. It's just such a mind screw that
it was.
That I remember looking at that and thinking, oh man, how cool that all those people went there to help.
It was such a heroic.
Yeah. I had friends that went there.
Morale boosting of let's do a good deed to go there and help, and
everyone got along.
It's all a fucking show.
It is. It's terrible.
It's
terrible.
And all the people reacting is real. So that's the solace that I take is all the people reacting. That's totally real.
Yeah.
Those are good
Tears
people.
at your heart, and
it's just, they're just fucking with you.
Yeah. Yeah. So another thing that really messed with my head a little bit was, you have this, all this rubble and stuff like that, wouldn't you want to investigate it a little bit. Maybe we just take a look and see, because there was talks about thermite being used and stuff like that to cut the beams and and whatnot. And you see like photo footages of like all the rubble, and you see one beam cut straight up like this on an angle. Same thing, because that's how it shifts down, and that's how you come in on top of each other like that. So you see it's actually cut like that. And then what did they do? That stuff was like maybe a week or whatever. It was already on a barge on its way to China to be destroyed. So you can't even like
look at it.
They should have just took it to a field someplace and, were able to, okay, what happened here? You know what I mean? Like, and it just all of a sudden everything was just taken and gone. It's like it never happened.
Well, just like when Charlie Kirk was shot, they concreted over the spot he was shot.
The next day. Because
why would you do that? That's a crime scene.
Because the mic malfunctioned and it shot fucking pellets into the ground or something like that. And then
I looked into that because I saw that. I was scrolling. I'm like, no way. And it legit, I
wonder if he's still alive.
That's what he thinks.
So I just saw something about that, and that would make so much sense why Erica.
She's
is
crazy.
like,
I think she's crazy.
It just ain't. It doesn't. Her
Something's not right with
emotion, her like state of mind doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Like there's something.
Well,
with
it's
that.
either she's in on it and he is dead, or he is alive
and she's in on it there too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Either way, she's dirty somewhere.
Something. I agree.
Well, right. Yeah. But
Go
then
ahead,
why?
Kami.
Okay, if he is still alive, why fake your death?
Well,
Because he's such a public.
I think
but he was fighting with Israel.
If I gave
Jay,
you,
what do you think?
He's alive. He's in Greenland.
If I gave you $50 million,
Greenland.
what's her name?
Kami.
If I give you $50 million to fake your death and go live on a tropical island someplace for the rest of your life in luxury, $50 million.
No.
$100 million.
No. But I feel like he has morals. Or
we're just going to kill you.
Well, that or you're gonna die.
I think he was.
I think that's probably more likely than anything, because he didn't need any more money.
He had a dinner with some people from Israel, and they wanted him to speak more positively on their behalf, and he refused because he said something's not right with it. So then he wasn't getting along with the leaders of Israel. So
that makes more sense.
Like,
I guess
what type of threat would it take to you or your family in order for you to conform?
Well, I think if it's a threat against your family, that would be.
I mean, I would take maybe 50,000 to disappear.
I ain't fucking taking nothing. I don't care. You better come strapped, because people are coming down with you. That's all that I don't care.
With you?
We're all in this fucking simulation together.
But that's just another weird thing that I wanted to branch off of the concrete.
Oh yeah, no, that's
super
definitely
weird.
That was weird. That was another thing.
That's a crime scene.
So exactly. So imagine doing that on a huge scale like that, and just right in front of your noses and rubbing it in your face. Like, you know what? We don't even care about the 33 or 3,600 people that just died.
But everyone's mourning, so no one's paying attention to that, right?
We didn't have any crime, I don't think, at all.
No.
Like for 2 days after that, like none. The only crime was probably the people stealing our money behind our backs,
Right.
Mm-hmm. Illegally.
But no, like, crime happened in for 2 days after that happened. Like the streets, everybody was like, that's what I mean. Like everybody was like, all right, I'm just going to sit back and maybe get some more water or some toilet paper. And maybe I won't go gangbanging tonight.
Right.
So, but, yeah, 9/11 was a big one for me. That really, that actually made me go down a million rabbit holes. And then JFK became more of a passion, and trying to figure that out. And then like just all of a sudden, you start, watching some of this stuff, and then one thing leads to another, and one thing leads to another. And I have a really cool,
and then you're like, how the fuck does somebody eat this much bread?
Oh, what? Yeah. Yeah. No.
Oh, with the pyramid?
But I have
it's a lot of bread.
Yeah.
It's probably whoever is.
It's supposed to be upside down. It's supposed to be the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to be the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you need to. And now that everything's sprayed
and they all know.
with
Just keep
Monsanto,
beating the shit out of that plant.
Yeah, I know. I tried twisting it when he was talking before.
so
I was helping him.
yeah, we got. Sorry, plant.
There's no water in it. Cheap,
but
cheap, man.
but you know, even like with like you know the grains and stuff like that are, got that glyphosate on it from
Mhm.
you know that's obviously causing all kinds of you know different kind of like stuff that's
Issues,
going on
yeah.
with your body. You
Yeah.
know, we've never been
If it's-
Gluten issues.
we have never
Yeah.
been you know
Allergies,
we have never
types
been
of-
more obese than ever.
Eczema.
I was eating the same shit when I was eating when I was a kid. It's just different. The food
Yeah.
is
It's different. It
Mhm.
is.
The food's different. You eat a little bit of this, a little bit of that. If you're not like on a strict like carnivore diet or something like that, man, you feel like shit. You really
do.
bloated and
Mhm.
whatnot.
I brought Nash to the doctor because he had eczema, and I brought him to the right doctor, not one that was going to just prescribe him. And the first thing she said is it's gut issue.
Yep.
Cut out gluten and dairy.
Yeah.
And she goes, because bread's not what it used to be.
No.
And
Mhm.
dairy, I mean, he's always been kind of sensitive to it, but it was interesting because she said that like bread is the devil.
But it's just crazy that all this stuff is being sprayed with all this stuff, and it's
Yeah.
just they're just making money hand over fist on it. And that's another conspiracy theory. If you guys want to go down, that's the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
pharma thing. Jeez Louise.
Right.
That's absolutely crazy too. It's like everything is out to get you in a little bit of ways, just to get your money and
Yep.
get you to comply
Well, just
and get
an
you to do the
example-
things you're supposed to do, and then die.
Insurance won't cover things like chiropractic, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's minimal, but a lot of chiropractor care because you can't make money off of that
Because it actually works.
with
Yeah.
pharmaceutical.
Yeah, it's not something you take
Pharmaceutical,
every day.
What do you guys think about the you know, as far as like conspiracy theories, like what was it? What is your like top one, Nicole? Like what do you like? What brought you down to like thinking, hey, I should do a podcast with Keith and Tony on this?
Well, you guys are crazy, and I love it,
Yeah.
and you're entertaining. And Cammie's the one that pushed this.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I
don't
think
really-
she's got a thing for me. She's got to quit that. You got to quit that, Cammie. Yeah.
I don't know. I would say between the 9/11 and I'm gonna shift over to the moon, and that's because of Keith.
Oh.
The moon.
Well, it's like,
Because when he lays, and I always
Well,
say
she's-
I don't have enough knowledge of it, but now I kind of do because of him. But my sister and him will debate about it, and you always win.
well, it's really hard to.
So the moon, I would say the moon landing and all of that stuff is when I'm like, holy shit.
So the one that was in the 1960s or 69 or whatever it was,
Mhm.
I think we went right 69.
I don't
16.
even know.
Mhm. Allegedly.
So, yeah. So
He
we kind of touched on this a little bit last time. It was
and
about,
that's when you went potty,
oh, okay. So
and then we decided to do
yeah,
this.
and you guys, oh, we should have got into that. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it now. Well, I think it's possible we went, but what we saw was not what was on the moon, obviously, because that's ridiculous. If any 12-year-old, okay, would poke holes at that.
What,
Okay.
what kind of 12-year-old?
The 12-year-old that says, what is going on with this doom buggy thing traveling on this?
And how did
dirt?
they get it there?
Yes.
In that
Little-
minivan of a spaceship?
Did you ever see the space capsule? Did you ever
Yes.
go to the?
No, I didn't went there. I didn't go there,
I
but I
think
saw
Malia
it.
said she did, didn't she?
It was in Chicago for a little while at the museum there. So
Oh.
me and our family.
Oh,
went-
maybe I did. Then.
Yeah, we went and saw, and I'm looking at that thing. And I'm like, how did they?
Did you
fit-
go there as a believer or as a skeptic?
I went there because they had a World War II submarine there.
Oh, okay.
They actually put that thing right in the ground, and then they built a exhibit over the top of it. It's pretty cool.
Mhm.
But I'm looking at that thing, and I'm like, there's no way that this thing traveled through the radiation belt, went through the firmament, that went, and then it just seemed like
Any
was-
strong wind would kill it.
well, it's not even strong wind, but just like, any kind of little meteorite or something. There was like no panels on there or nothing like
It
that.
was
Like
fucking tinfoil.
yeah,
Like legit.
legit.
I really wish
was
we had tinfoil hats
Gold
right now.
painted tinfoil.
And then,
really do.
So what gets me is like when the little pod comes back from space or whatever, or
Mhm.
even like the Space Challenger space shuttle,
This last one.
there's like no marks on it.
Oh, do you hear how fast that thing re-enters?
There's no mark. There's no
and gets
burn
to
marks.
Earth? Was
There's
it
no
like 25,000
Are we-
miles an hour?
More
There is
fluoride,
no
so you don't see that,
fucking
right?
way.
I don't.
Yeah, more fluoride.
We're gonna just
More
strap
bread.
in.
Yeah.
We're just gonna strap into the seatbelt in
Let's
this
make
chair
you-
and
let's
go
make you fat and dumb.
25,000 miles an hour. Like, okay,
Yeah.
Well,
really?
just coming into our atmosphere. Look what
Yeah.
it does to like rocks and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It just burns
Right.
them up, right?
right.
So,
And it's got a special
and
nose,
I know
though.
that somebody will like say, "Oh, look at I can post photos of I've never seen it. I watched the thing come on the TV and I had never seen the
Keith
burn
wants
marks
to get
on
a
it.
telescope so he can like, I don't know, look for aliens or something.
And that's another thing.
What do you want to talk about there? Let's talk
So
about that.
the second thing about the moon, the second moon when we just went up to the moon or whatever.
But we didn't land on it, correct?
No, we went around it.
Like, why aren't we landing on it?
Well, I don't know, but
And why aren't we live streaming the whole fucking thing? If we got all this technology that
Well,
we've been able to talk to
has
somebody
anybody-
on the moon live in the Oval Office
President Nixon did on the red
Yeah.
phone. He called
in
them up and he was like,
1969,
yeah, and he was like,
it sounded
"Hey,
clear as
good
day,
job, guys." Yeah.
better than I could call my neighbor two
Yeah.
country blocks away.
So you don't think that was in the studio?
Yeah,
You know?
bullshit.
So, but my other question is it's just weird because I think I might have sent this to you or something like that. Like when the rockets go up, they obviously, they always go on a curvature
Tail.
over the Atlantic Ocean, right? They never go like straight up like how they're supposed to. They always go on a curvature. And I remember like Elon Musk talking about the firmament and stuff like that. And you ever see the pictures of his rockets when he actually hits that firmament and there's like this huge like white like
Not
wave,
explosion, but
like,
yeah,
like a wave,
yeah.
like a wave, and it just like it's pushing through through the sky, and that's because it's scraping that firmament. It can't break through that firmament. I don't even know what the fucking firmament is.
So
but
is
they
that
keep
proving that
talking
the
about-
world is not flat?
I'm just saying that it's really hard to break that. You have to have a lot
There's
of power.
some like
to get-
dome layer, something.
Yeah,
that's
of
what
something.
that's what the firmament is explained, even in the Bible.
Yeah.
So,
So the rockets keep going off like that, and then so somebody just whatever. If
maybe
anybody,
that's why Elon Musk wanted to make the rockets pointier. Remember when he said that? It
Yeah.
was like a funny interview he had. He's like, I want to make them pointier. And he's like, why? He says, it looks cooler.
Yeah.
And they're like, does it help with like, efficiency? No, it's actually slightly less efficient.
Then why do it?
Yeah.
Somebody's got too much time on their hands.
I
but-
just want a telescope. I don't want to make pointy
Okay,
rockets.
so has anybody ever seen any footage of apparently the space shuttle or whatever it was that went up through their lens that we have?
It's the same damn image.
Well, just let me ask you this: did anybody from Earth and the huge telescopes that we have that we can see the moon or whatever get a video of the fucking space shuttle going past the moon?
No, not that I know of.
Did you?
I haven't seen anything.
Anybody in the nobody?
Hubble telescope, where you at?
Anybody like the ones that we have like on the West Coast or whatever that had these huge big telescopes that point to wherever we can point it to. We can see shit, galaxies
They weren't
far away.
tracking it.
Do we have anybody with like a fucking video camcorder or a video pointing in there?
Camcorder.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so 1990.
No, you're right, though.
That just shows the thing going past the moon. That's all I want to see.
Yeah, like
You
you
know?
can't fucking see it.
That's all I want to see.
We'll have to
Even
look
with a
into that.
shitty telescope, you should be able to see it.
And they
So-
were, and when they, this is another thing. I guess I didn't do really much research on this, so I don't really know. And maybe somebody has. But when they went across there and they were doing their photos of it, did they have photos of the launch pad that was taken, or the flag that was posted on the moon, or any of the stuff that we left there, like our fucking kick-ass dune buggy and shit like that?
Well, how did they get the footage of the lunar module? That's what they call it, right? How'd they get the footage of it leaving the moon?
The guy's still there.
He was just like, "Oh, let me
He's like,
send
"Yeah,
that
you
to
guys
you
gonna
in
pick
an
me up?"
email real quick." In
$5 for
1969,
gas, man.
let me send it in an email.
Yeah, they show this freaking thing taking off.
And it just
they
sparks
say they
away.
have like a camera or whatever that they had, and it was remote or something.
Bullshit.
Like that. They didn't have fucking shit. Everything
Yeah.
was on a cord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking hooked up to a generator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything was on a cord. Okay. There was no such thing as
Yeah.
There was homes that
Such
didn't
a
have
joke.
telephones back then. Jesus Christ.
So my question is, like, because you asked a question before, like, how many people are in on that deal? So, like, that type of thing, the moon landing, how many people are in on that deal?
Malia's
I
question
think-
was, what about China? All the other countries racing for it. Wouldn't they call us out on the bullshit? Wouldn't they
No.
be like,
We don't know that there's the proper whatever we're seeing, they as far as whoever's in charge wants us to see. We don't get to see all the great things that happen all the way around the world and how everybody else views us that are scared to come here because holy shit, the Americans are fucking crazy and shit like that.
Or we allowed them to lie too to help our lie. You know, like
It's just whatever we want to say. I don't even know if there's a war going on in Iran or not. Honestly, I don't know. They could be pulling up footage of some other shit that happened
30 years
some
ago.
other country. Yeah. We've actually seen that before, like where they said they were bombing something and it was a fucking fireworks display and whatever. You know what I mean? It's like that nothing is real on the TV anymore. You know what I mean? So like, I get it. Okay. They say we're at war with Iran or something like that, but are we? You know, I mean, what do we really need to accomplish there? Why can't we just go over there and just be done with this? I mean, I thought we were the greatest, you know, and they're Iran, you know what I mean? Oh, they could never have nuclear weapons. They could, that's all you keep saying. It's like, okay.
well, are we done now?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what are we doing to stop that besides, you know, raising or blocking a path in a straight or something like that? What are we doing to stop that? We can't talk about that because that's, you know.
Well, Donald's going to call you.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, anyway, so, you know, I just feel like you get force fed a bunch of shit and we just got to keep eating it because, you know, it's the next news cycle or whatever it is. And, you know, everything to take you off the, you know, that there's a bunch of Satanists, you know, pedophile people that are running this world. So
Sad.
we'll hit you with the next thing next, you know, and, but, you know, like I said, classics are like, oh, one thing happened when you talked about the Kennedy files, okay, how they got released. In 1995, when they had that movie come out, that actually sparked something and they were able to release some files. And when they released some files, this is a great one. This was in that documentary that I was talking about.
I know what you're going to say.
The Northwood, Operation Northwoods. Have you ever heard of that? Okay. So have you ever heard of that, Jay? Operation Northwoods? Okay. So Operation Northwoods was one of the chief of staff under President Kennedy. And this document, you can look it up. You can Google it. It'll tell you everything. This full disclosure, I know this one. So,
but do your own research.
You can look it up, Operation Northwoods. And it was back when President Kennedy was in power. Some of his joint chief of staffs, I can't think of the names, came up to him with a proposal of taking a plane and driving it by remote and flying the plane over Cuba and blowing it up. And they said the plane was going to be full of college kids going on spring break, and they were going to blow it up over Cuba so that we could go and occupy Cuba. Okay. And President Kennedy shut it down. And that was actually part of the file release for when they released the files in 95 for the JFK assassinations. That was part of it. So it just goes to show you that they will do false flag attacks to gain power, to gain the sympathy of the American people, and
to create emotion.
So that cause, reaction, solution. Okay. It's the same thing. So they come up with this, right? We react to it. They already have a solution.
Well, Vietnam War.
Gulf of Tonkin incident. 58,000 Americans died over a lie. So that's a tough pill to swallow. So the Gulf of Tonkin incident was our own, or was it Israel, or was somebody attacked one of our ships? It was us doing it or something like that, and we blamed Vietnam in the Gulf of Tonkin, and that propelled us into the war in Vietnam. Otherwise, we weren't we shouldn't have been there in the first place. I don't even know why we were there anyways.
They don't. Yeah, there's no reason.
Still no reason.
There's still no
There really,
reason.
there had to have been
It's a
something
pointless
there.
war. Yeah, there's got to be something.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I'm hearing with the war in Iran right now. People are
So,
questioning,
like-
is there actually nukes there, or what are we wanting?
Well,
Is it actually
they
happening?
can never have nukes. That's what President Trump says.
So we're just gonna.
But they could never have nukes 20 years ago. I remember we were doing this 20 years ago with them. So there's a conspiracy out there that they don't want to conform to the world banking system. Okay. And they occupy some really cool real estate over there. That's straight, that where all the oil comes from and stuff like that. But they don't want to conform to the World Bank. And in fact, I believe, I don't know for sure, but I believe that they don't have a World Bank like we do, like the Federal Reserve is a World Bank. And each country has their own World Bank that runs off the petrodollar, most of it. So anytime that any of these countries want to run their stuff, run their oil or with their own currency or something like that, instead of using the petrodollar,
Which is a U.S. dollar.
which is the U.S. dollar. That's why our dollar is so strong, because it's backed by oil. So that's probably part of the reason why we're over there. But I still don't understand Vietnam. Like, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
I've
get
never
that
heard a
one.
good explanation for it.
It was supposed to be to fight communism, because it was supposed to be a big key to like where China was something, or Russia. I think it was China or something like that. But I'm like, it's like right in the middle of the whole works over there. It's like Vietnam
Wasn't it something to do with a port? Like,
Jay, do you know the reason they're claiming for Vietnam War?
I feel like you would know that.
It was to fight communism.
Smithsonian, to destroy all the large skulls.
Oh, that's a different, yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole other conspiracy theory. To destroy the large people.
What?
Well, there's this
The
theory
giants.
that,
What?
there's people that are giants. So now dating back about 270,000 years ago, like we thought that.
Isn't there like a book of the Bible that's not
Book
in
of
it?
Enoch.
Well, the Book of
giants.
Enoch is not in the Bible.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
But
what I
you
meant,
should
like
read
that.
that. That talks about the aliens.
That wasn't even that long ago. That was like, was it like 12,000 years ago? Something like that?
So I think what Jay's talking about is back, what probably brought us to where we're at right now is sort of like a civilization, stuff like that. They claim that there was a race of aliens that came to our planet called the Anunnaki.
Mhm.
And the Anunnaki,
Liked our women.
well, no, that was the Igigis that complained about the women.
No, liked.
Oh yeah. Oh no, the
So they-
Igigis didn't have women, but hold on a second. Let me get to that. So let me just get to the bare roots of this. So like around 270,000 years ago, we were like kind of like hominins of this world or whatever, and we were still doing our thing with it, like sticks and shit like that or whatever.
Cavemen.
Apparently this race came in, and the only reason why they came to our world is because there's this like the cycle of like every 36,000 years or something like that, where this planet called Nibiru comes into our solar system. Okay. And these people are from this planet. Now this is definitely, this is part of the Sumerian tablets or something like that or whatever. That's why this gets talked about a lot. And I guess Ancient Aliens, like their first episode is about the Anunnaki. So, but the Anunnaki were having trouble with their atmosphere. Okay. And their atmosphere was dying. So, and these people live like 20,000s of years. Like that's their lifespan. I don't know. That's apparently what they say. And these
They take form of beings. Not like, that's not their actual form. Like they're just.
I don't know
this-
that. I didn't hear about that, but
oh, okay.
so their atmosphere is dying. And then somehow, some way they figured out that they could put gold into their atmosphere. It would ionize and charge their atmosphere so it'd be like our atmosphere again, reflects it and stuff like that. So they sent out their whatever to different planets, a geologist, whatever. And I guess apparently we had gold here on this planet. So they brought a workforce with them called the Igigi, and the Igigi were probably about 12 feet tall. Okay. and they were a workforce. And
Pyramids.
yeah, we'll get there.
Oh,
Okay. We'll get there.
I'm just figuring it
That's
all
cool
out.
though. I mean, I like how
Yeah.
you brain just went from here to this side to this side. Said pyramids. Not trying to throw me off at all or nothing like that. So I love it. I love it.
That's how we got them.
That's
Those
good.
guys.
We'll get there. And it's a story. It's a cool story. And so they figured out that there was gold on here, and that's another thing I wanted to ask you guys about. Why do we worship gold so much?
Right.
Like
For so long.
for centuries, like
Mhm.
1400s, 1200s, even back in the days, remember like it was all about gold,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Why do we worship it so much? Well, we didn't even know what the properties were, for it, or what it could do for us. Like we could take a little flake of gold right here and put it on this table, and then we can spread it out over this whole table. That's how awesome the gold is. You can thin it
Mhm.
out so much we could actually cover the whole table with a little speck of it. They figured that out. So that's why it's so valuable now. We didn't know that back then.
And it's conductive to energy.
Oh yeah. And you can use it to block radiation.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is perfect, right? If radiation is fucking up your atmosphere, you use this to block it and get it out of there. So it makes kind of sense, I guess. So anyway, so they brought this workforce over, and then we were there, and we were just kind of like grasshoppers to them, like
Yeah.
just whatever.
Like
there
zoo
was probably
animals.
this like packs of us, you know what I mean? Like herds of us.
Mhm.
And so the GG went to work, and they were working, and then they revolted against the Anunnaki. Now the Anunnaki, they're and Anu and Inu were like the sons of the head guy or whatever, but they were like 20 feet tall. Okay, they're like these. You ever
Almost
see,
like God form,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah. You ever
gods.
see the Egyptian photographs of them holding a
Mhm.
lion in their arm like this? So that kind of is how they judged how tall they were. So about 20 feet tall and very powerful. But they did, Keith. They did have a keen eye for the
Mhm. the ladies.
the hominoids or whatever that were walking around. Some of them they thought were good looking, and they mated with them, and they had offsprings and stuff like that. And that's probably where the tales of like Hercules come in, and Achilles and all that shit. That
Mhm.
those tales are the offsprings of these gods, But anyways, so they came in, and then they harvest this gold. Okay, and they got enough gold to do whatever they had to do to their society or whatever. And they were gonna, and this where it goes along with the biblical part of this. They when their planet came through, so they were gonna go, when their planet gets close, that's when they can get there faster or whatever it is. So they take all their stuff and they go back to their planet. And as that planet's coming through, it fucks with our planet and our poles. Okay, so what it does is, apparently what it did is it turned the poles around. Okay. And what that does is our planet goes 1,000 miles an hour, spins 1,000 miles an hour, and we're doing 20,000 miles an hour chasing the sun. Okay. So we're spinning 1,000 miles an hour, and we're flying through our galaxy or whatever, chasing the sun at 20,000 miles an hour. Okay. So imagine the poles flipping, everything stops on the earth. Like the earth stops, but then everything else keeps going, right? So now you have like this huge 2-mile high ocean water just going 1,000 miles an hour, because everything stopped and it just turned
Mhm.
everything.
It's like a car crash going.
So after the poles go, and because of this planet comes through and screws everything up, the poles go, and then they go back. It takes 7 days. So the whole planet just gets turned upside down. Everything's lost. Okay. And then it just resets. So what the Anunnaki have done is they started like this little pod of paradise or whatever. And they tried to populate it again, but they were having problems cloning workers for the gold and stuff like that. So they ended up impregnating one of the females or whatever, or something like that, through this genetic thing. And that was the first one, the first boy that was like Adam, but they didn't call him Adam. It was like Adon or something like that, or A something like that. And the other one was like Eve. So it's kind of like our story for the biblical story about Adam and Eve kind of came from the Anunnaki. So that's kind of like how we got here in a way to where we're at right now.
But then there's still some stories about the giants, the offspring.
Yes.
Living in caves, hiding from
Like still today.
Well,
oh, I mean, maybe.
Oh,
Maybe.
I like how you guys poo-poo my shit.
No,
but you
no,
guys have
you're
been
totally
talking-
right.
You guys are
Because-
crazy.
no,
Because there's-
maybe.
look at all the places we're not allowed to go where
Yeah,
they've talked
the Grand
about,
Canyon.
Yeah.
We can't even go in certain parts of the Grand Canyon.
Right.
Why?
And so part of that, somebody studied some geology of the Grand Canyon, the rocks there and the rocks like in the Middle East, and they match up perfectly. It's the only place in the world where they do.
What do you mean the rocks match up?
Like
perfectly?
the geology of, I don't fucking rock science.
No. What he's talking about, the hieroglyphics match. There was, okay.
Not just the hieroglyphics, the stones. The stone.
The stones that they use
Yeah.
for the pyramids.
Oh, are
came-
the same?
Not just, yeah.
Oh.
Like the
dude,
geology of rocks. I don't fucking know.
I think there's
What's
pyramids.
that called?
Dude, I think there's pyramids all over the place.
Oh, yeah. They're
all
hidden.
over. Yeah. Like,
I think there's one in
Maybe a
Banters.
mountain. No.
I
But
just
like,
wanted to say if you guys would say no to me.
but
again.
like some of these mountains covered in some shit, you know?
No, that's dumb.
no. I'm driving on Highway 29 going to Wausau. I'm looking at that thing. I'm like, I wonder if that's a pyramid underneath there. You know, it's like
Rib Mountain.
yeah. But you know, it's crazy though, like with the pyramid. I know you wanted to get into this, so that's part of it. So what were the pyramids for? Does anybody know?
Energy, right?
Well, that's not what we were taught in school though, right? What were the
Mhm.
what were you taught in school? What were the
We were
pyramids?
taught in school that they were Pharaoh's tomb,
Yes.
which is totally stupid.
Which never happened.
It doesn't make
Never
any
happened.
sense.
They never found one mummy or sarcophagus or anything like that in any of the pyramids. All of the stuff that they found were in places that they built next to the pyramids, like King Tut's whatever he had going on there. That where he was at, he wasn't ever in the pyramid or nothing like that. He had nothing to do with the pyramids. The pyramids.
Maybe he was in it, but he didn't.
I don't even know
get
if he
placed.
was. I don't know.
I think the
there's
pyramids are older than,
Yes.
way older. They found them and they're like, this place is pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, let's
yeah.
write some shit on here.
Yeah. So,
Let's write some stories
but
on these.
you know what we
fucking
don't talk
sweet
about, right?
stones.
You know what's out of the mainstream media right now is, remember they said they found a whole bunch of columns and stuff like that
Yep.
that went
like hundreds of feet down.
hundreds of meters down
Yeah.
and into like a chamber or something like that. And we're
Mhm.
not talking about that anymore.
Yeah.
Like we're not.
What? Nobody asked any questions.
Yes. And then I Googled it. That's funny because after I saw it and it came out, I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy, you know? And I watched the whole thing on it. And then I Googled it and it says, oh, that was fake. And then Joe Rogan just came out not too long ago and said it was real again.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, okay,
Who's controlling Google?
Yeah, who's controlling Google? And like, but why the heck are we not talking about that? These things were like hydrogen chambers, and they like that. There was like this huge granite box that's inside the pyramid. Okay, and that's where they think like the Ark of Covenant came from.
Yep.
So, but and it's still radioactive to this day. Like it's radioactive, this granite sarcophagus, but it's not big enough to put a body in or nothing like that, but just big enough to put like something in, like a battery or something, or some kind of
Power
source. And then like underneath the pyramids and stuff like that, there was like all kinds of water. Okay. So
like full of sulfur. And
yeah. So they used that. And then that's why there's all these little chambers and shit like that are in the pyramids. And apparently they used that, and there was like, there's these two chambers that go up, and there are like these little metal hooks or something like that are in there. Like, did you ever hear about metal hooks, that copper hooks that were in the fucking pyramid?
Copper.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I mean, crazy,
So what do you
right?
think that's about?
Well, I think they're, like Keith said, I think there were like some kind of energy point, or like, you
Beam me up, Scotty.
yeah,
Something
something like
to transfer something to somewhere else.
And
What did you say?
Beam me up,
Beam
Scotty.
Me Up, Scotty is from Star Trek, I think it is.
Yeah.
Star Wars, Star Trek. But
No, didn't hit.
no,
Okay.
that's a swinging.
I didn't know I was.
I wasn't
married to
either.
him.
My brother watched it a lot,
I have
and I'm
no
like,
idea.
I want to watch Simpsons.
But the thing that
Fluoride.
so breaking down a lot of these things, and the things that concern like me the most is they're okay. Number one, they're fun to go down. They are.
Oh yeah.
Right. They're fun to go down. Number two, it's just like, okay, all right, it's a story. Maybe it's real. But then once you start deep diving a little bit more, then you're like, oh shit, that's, like with Alex Jones, like I would say about 75% of the stuff that he came out with is true now. I mean, he talked about like the pedophiles, Satanists, Zionists, whatever the hell those guys
Good
are.
Epstein shit.
Yeah, he talked about that 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. How long has it been going on?
It's so disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, he talked about that 20 years. And like the Super Bowl was a big serving dish for all that, like all the elites getting,
I'm so sick of famous people. I am so sick of.
Yeah, that's weird because how do you get famous like that?
Right.
So
like the people put way too much
I've
stake
seen
into them.
How many times have you guys gone to like, Nashville or something like that and watched a street performer like look better than or do better than like Carrie Underwood would do or something like that? You're like, why are these like, and that, nothing against Carrie Underwood. I know she came up through American Idol or whatever, but I'm just saying like people that perform are like better than the people that are out there. Like what happened that these people made it and these people didn't, you know what I mean? Like,
or how about why none of them are talking about the Epstein files being released? Like
a lot of them were.
I know.
In it.
Well,
So
they
you
were
look
just
at
they were in the files. Number one, number two, they were at parties and like
Associated somehow.
They never
with
bring
it.
it up in their speeches.
Yeah, who just got hammered? They did a roast on Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
And then Chelsea Handler got hammered quite a bit. I didn't watch it, but Chelsea Handler got hammered because she was at like certain dinners with Jeffrey Epstein, and that bitch, she looks like she could be some kind of crazy lunatic, pedophile.
Keep going.
Seriously, she's got some, some
Yeah.
ideas that are just like, oh, okay. Yeah.
But I just find that odd because they will talk about any agenda they have at Grammys. They'll preach about things that they don't have a clue about, but not one ever mentioned.
Yeah.
Like, hey, release the files. Right.
Yeah.
That triangle thing. What is that?
Pizza.
Oh, yeah, the
Illuminati.
pizza.
That's what they call it, pizza.
Well,
Pizzagate.
that and
Yeah.
Illuminati.
No, they're called children are called pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hot dogs are little boys.
Hot dogs,
What
little
what
boys.
symbol does that resemble?
Pizza.
Just like pizza.
The Illuminati.
Oh yeah. But
Yeah.
Like remember
And then-
remember Jim Carrey going nuts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people thought he was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he still might be, but
Well, I don't even know if
Maybe
that's
it's just
him.
maybe
Right.
maybe it's just
Well, yeah.
maybe he's just aware.
Yeah,
He
no,
knows
it's
something.
Yeah, well, he was on a fight with when he was dating that blonde girl, Jenny something. Remember her from the 90s MTV?
McCarthy.
I don't-
Yes, Jenny McCarthy. I think one of her kids had autism or something like that, and he got on the bandwagon talking about like how the shots were no good and anti-vax and stuff like that, and kind of got shut down for that.
Jim Carrey? This
Jim
was?
Carrey did, yeah, when he was
Mhm.
dating that
didn't know
lady,
that.
yeah. But no, like I said, there's so many of conspiracies out there, like, and the ones that fascinate you the most are the ones that are like all of a sudden they come out like that you find out they were true. Like the whole frog thing, turning frogs gay. They put in this some kind of tits.
I'm going to have to look into that. This is the first I've heard of it.
Just Google Alex Jones and gay frogs, and it'll come up.
I'll Google gay frogs.
Yeah, it'll come up, and they're putting that same shit in our water. So I mean, craziness,
Oh, I believe it.
And then it came out true, and it's like, and like you said, how many of these got to come out to be true before
Is there such
People
thing as
start-
such a thing
Yeah.
as a conspiracy anymore?
So what does it take? Like back in the day, we revolted because we didn't like tax on tea.
Yep.
3% tax on tea or
Yeah.
some
So-
shit like
right.
that.
So what is it? We know we're getting lied to every day.
Every day.
And there's so many good people out there working hard and like what do you do?
Because
Did the people revolt, or are we better off just living our own life?
If you're comfortable, you won't.
Oh, right.
You have to be
Or controlled.
well. if you're comfortable enough, which we are,
Mm-hmm.
right? Have a good life. You guys got a good life. You got a good life.
Mm-hmm.
So you're comfortable, right? So why would I fuck that up?
You're right. You're just going to play along.
Yeah. Until it affects me. But once it does, it's going to be too late. So you have those guys out there, those patriots out there, those people that are like, care about other people that are fighting that fight. I mean, obviously I just love, going down rabbit holes, and I love, spending time researching some of this stuff, but what can we do about it? That's the question I think you're kind of asking, like, what can we do about it? Well, one of the things we could do is just talk about it. Mm-hmm. And not say, oh, you're a fucking tinfoil hat, or you're this or that, because it's like, okay,
maybe it's not that crazy.
Exactly. Maybe, if you, number one, it's fun for me, number two, it's like, people think things like, oh my gosh, but like, cause I was talking about like this 20 years ago when I was, with my friends up in a campfire talking about like, I don't think everything in the Bible is the truth. I said, that's just a story that has been said to, keep us in, control. And that didn't go over very well back then, and now you like, oh, well, maybe he's got something there. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's so many versions of the story of how we became what we are,
or religions. Right.
And everybody talks about like, the same thing of different kinds of, all over, but they talk about the flood. Everybody talks about the flood.
Mm-hmm.
Like that happened. That had to happen.
Right.
I mean, the younger Dryas kind of just shows us that had happened. And there had to be like some kind of cataclysmic event that, either froze us or fried us at the same time. Like there was something that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's when everything split or whatever. But that younger Dryas event, happened they say like 12,000 years ago or something like that, or 13,000 years ago, which actually carved everything that we have right now. And then there's this guy that has, it must have been like when I talked about that water, getting pushed us and around and stuff like that, where it pushed all of the woolly mammoths in one spot.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah.
There's all these woolly mammoth bones. I think, is it in Canada? Or is it Montana?
Somewhere
like,
close to there.
Didn't we find that T-Rex in Montana also? Something like that, I thought.
Probably.
Like
I know there's a lot of...
Sue came from Montana? No, she came from the Dakotas, right? North or South Dakota?
I don't know. I don't know how you know all of this.
Are
you impressed?
Sue, the Tyrannosaurus Rex that we found.
It's like,
I don't know.
Wasn't she found in Montana or the Dakotas or something like that?
I think it was at one of the Dakotas.
I know there's a fair amount of large dinosaur bones in that area.
Yeah, so but all like congregate in that area there. So just think about that
why?
General area.
Yeah, and why?
I don't know. But like, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Two things. I'm starting to die on battery.
Okay.
But then can you talk about, I mean, you can keep going on this, but then can you like talk about how people do their own research on this? Like how do you know all this?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what's great about the internet right now. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you can jump on any kind of bandwagon you want. Now, some of the shit, like a lot of the shit's bullshit.
You got to weed through.
It's repetitive and it's, it's bullshit. So, after you watch something or you research something for quite a while, you realize what is bullshit and what's not, or, like, oh yeah, I already knew that, or it's kind of reaching there or something, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but, I would start out with the documentary Loose Change.
Okay.
And, let that sit in a little bit, and then, get into, because it talks about, false flag attacks. It talks about the JFK files. It talks about, Operation Northwoods, which they were already trying to do false flag attack, and use that to catalyst to get us into wars and, in occupied places and stuff like that. The Gulf of Tonkin incident. That's another one that's great to research, because what were we doing in Vietnam? Do you really know? We lost 58,000 Americans over there. We don't even know why we were there. Stop communism? I don't get that. There had to be something over there that we don't know about, Like could have been some kind of technology, could have been some ancient something. You know, I mean, that's, you know, the Sumerian tablets were found in like 1970 something in Iraq. And they're the ones that depicted, you know, the Anunnaki, you know. So, and they talk about the gods coming from the sky or the heavens, and the straight, like they coming from the heavens, but not like the heaven, but the sky, you know, and coming down. And it's right on these clay tablets that they found. But you know, so it's like, you know, that's how you get into it. I guess you
find something you're interested in.
Find something like what, you know, like I said, like when I was a kid, you know, I always knew something was up with the JFK thing. I always thought like any kind of assassination attempt, is always like, okay, there's more to that than just some lone gunman that can jump onto a building in front of a bunch of cops and then shoot at the president. You know, it's like, or, you know, it's like the same shit.
And then
Charlie Kirk's whole assassination. Like, come on.
President Trump's assassination attempt. You know, it's like you let this guy that, you know, was on BlackRock commercials and
just climb a roof in front of everybody,
like where the headquarters, where the police were, and is there a guy in the roof, Keith? I don't know. I should probably check on it. And they do, and that's when he starts shooting, apparently. But you know, another thing about like with the JFK files, Oliver Stone came out with another documentary probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and it talks about how they called off, like, you know, how Kennedy was, you know, in his route here, and he had to go this way and then come make a sharp turn where he had to slow down. And there was a, you know, the Texas bookstore or whatever the hell it was right there, you know, so that they had to slow down. So that, well, actually we go this way where he had to slow down, and they had the same routed out in Chicago. And Oliver Stone talks about this in this documentary, and it's actually there's classified or unclassified documents of it now that he was supposed to go do that same thing in Chicago in October, and they called it off because there was some kind of threat. Some good Samaritan, some good cop or something like that
got in the way. And they called it all off because he saw these two guys going into like the same kind of a thing, like a book depository, or same guy going to a book depository or something like that, or same kind of thing. And the guy that did it was like kind of some kind of same thing, like as Oswald went to the same military base in Okinawa, was part of like this elite group in Okinawa Special Forces or something like that, and then like went to Russia and came back. I mean, it was like the same, like total type of guy. Almost looked the same too, you know.
What's
and
that movie we just watched? We talked about that.
But it almost looked the same as Lee Oswald. I can't think of I think his name is Thomas something. Boy, if I could look it up. But I think his name is Thomas something. And that was a cool rabbit hole to go down. So like they were going to do this anyways. They just picked Dallas instead of Chicago because a good cop or a good Samaritan or something like that got in the way. So it's crazy, you know, and you sit there and we live in this, and you're like, well, you know, and you want to do something. It's like, okay, great. Everybody thinks you're crazy. Now what, you know? So, and it's like, well, I have all this knowledge and I want to, you know, share it, you know, maybe you guys will see the same things I see, like, oh, that's bullshit. Oh, that's bullshit. You know,
something doesn't smell right.
It's okay to poke holes in things. You know, it's all right. It's all right to question.
Since we're winding down,
fluoride, right?
Yeah,
I got a great closing. Well, potentially. Now you got to drink again. So cheers.
I can do that.
Cheers,
guys.
So keeping the conversation open.
Okay.
Keeping our minds open. Okay. And cheers to beers and banter.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
Way to lead into that.
Wow.
That literally gave me chills.
Aw,
and cheers.
Look, I got goosebumps.
Aw, you gave him chills.
I got goosebumps. Holy shit. Inaugural, too.
Yeah, that was what. Did you plan that in the shower?
I just thought of it like 3 seconds ago.
Tell me freely why